Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Unanimous decision. The price to join the pack is going up. We'll break down the tuition increase for students at NC State University.
And our high temperatures are going up, too. We're already in the 60s now. I'll show you when we can see highs in the 70s.
A day in court. It's been nearly 3 years since a driver killed 11-year-old Haley Brooks during the Raleigh Christmas parade. This afternoon, the man who was at the wheel is expected to face a judge.
Breaking news. Leaders at NC State have voted to raise tuition for new students. The Board of Trustees unanimously approved the 3% increase about an hour ago. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. Thank you for joining us. So the increase applies to both incoming, in-state, and out-of-state students there. And WRAL's Flynn Snyder was there for the vote. And he joins us live to break down the cost a little bit. Talk a little bit more about that, Flynn.
Yeah, Chris, this would amount to about just under $200 a year for new incoming in-state students. Leaders here at the school's Alumni Center also voted to raise several student fees. A small group of students did hold up signs and protest during the meeting. Those signs read no more tuition or fees. They say now is not the time to raise tuition for new students, and they believe the university could find the needed funding elsewhere.
They're choosing instead to prioritize some abstract growth of the future endowment instead of the real material needs of the graduate students now. So in summary, they have other options, and they're choosing instead to put this burden on students.
So school leaders say the move is necessary to combat rising costs and federal funding cuts. The tuition increase will not impact current undergrads. This follows a similar hike approved at UNC Chapel Hill yesterday. Now, the Board of Governors, which oversees the university system here, gave universities the authority to consider a tuition increase of up to 3% for in-state undergrad students. Again, we'll be following this and bringing you the latest. For now, we're live on NC State's campus. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News.
Also going up are temperatures right now. And by this weekend, highs will be well above normal. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner here with us now, and it's feeling very comfortable out there. Beautiful day.
Already we're seeing temperatures in the low 60s, and we'll climb into the mid and upper 60s this afternoon. 67 in Durham and Raleigh, 69 in Fayetteville. We have beautiful sunshine out there right now. The reason for the warm up is high pressure that's starting to slide eastward. Around high pressure systems, we have winds that rotate clockwise. And so in this position, that high is able to push some of that warm air from along the Gulf right on into our area. So 75 for tomorrow, 77 on Sunday. Now, a weak front comes through Sunday, no rain with that, but that will drop our temperatures back to near normal. Our normal temperatures are in the mid 60s right now. Sunday may cloud up a little bit, but it will still be very warm with a high of 77. That makes it a wonderful weekend to spend some time outside, even though it'll be a bit cloudy. We're not expecting any rain. So mid to upper 70s for highs on Saturday and Sunday. Our next best chance of rain doesn't come until Tuesday, but we are eyeing the potential for some rain the following weekend as well. We'll walk through that coming up.
All right, sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. WRAL has learned the man charged in the death of an 11-year-old dancer who was hit by a truck in the 2022 Raleigh Christmas parade will be in court. Landon Glass is charged with involuntary manslaughter in connection to Haley Brooks' death. She was dancing in the parade. And WRAL's Sean Gallagher is outside the courthouse this afternoon. Sean, what are we expecting to happen today?
Yeah, Chris, this long and tragic saga dating back all the way to 2022 may be coming to a close today. We have learned that Landon Glass will be here at the courthouse later this afternoon for an appearance. And this comes just 2 months after WRAL learned his defense attorney had put forward a plea deal. Now, you may remember Landon Glass has been at his house in Virginia since March of 2023 on house arrest when he was released on bond. But let's go all the way back to figure out everything that's happened over the last few years. It all began November 19th, 2022, when Haley Brooks was dancing in the parade with her studio when she was hit by an out-of-control truck driven by Glass, where he told police his brakes failed. He was initially charged with misdemeanor death by motor vehicle and other offenses, and then 4 months later, Glass was indicted on involuntary manslaughter. Glass was also named in a civil lawsuit filed by the Brooks family in April of 2023, but just over a year ago, the Brooks family reached resolutions in the civil lawsuit with Glass, the dancer, dance studio and the float company. Now, the city of Raleigh still remains as a defendant on that civil lawsuit, as well as the Greater Raleigh Merchants Association. All of that still pending. Now, Glass will be in the courtroom here facing those criminal charges later this afternoon. We'll, of course, bring you updates as soon as they happen online and also in our evening newscast starting at 4 o'clock. But for now, outside of the courthouse, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center following some breaking news out of Stockholm. Several people are dead. Others are hurt after a double-decker passenger bus crashed right into a bus stop. This is a live look at the scene there in Stockholm. Police said several people were hit. They did not give any information on their number, gender, or ages. They're treating the crash as, quote, involuntary manslaughter, and they say they are still investigating this. It's not immediately clear what the cause was. The emergency services said the vehicle was just a regular city bus. It was not in service and there were no passengers on board that bus when it did crash, but they did say the driver has been detained. We're going to stay on top of this and bring you the latest.
Michelle, thank you. Undergraduate classes are canceled today on the campus of Methodist University after the deaths of a faculty member and a student this week. The university says Neil Perry died in a crash Thursday morning. Perry was a part-time faculty member in communication and media. His death comes immediately after the death of a 19-year-old student, Peter Armstrong. The university says faculty and staff will be on campus to support anyone who needs it. Students are also encouraged to use support resources. We now know the name of the dirt bike rider who died in this crash involving a Wake County school bus. Highway Patrol confirms 22-year-old Michael Jones of Willow Spring died in the crash. It happened at the intersection of Kennebec Road and Bud Lipscomb Road around 6:30 yesterday morning. Troopers say Jones was riding without lights or reflecting gear when the bus hit him as it was making a turn. Jones died at the hospital. No students were on the bus.
The search for a missing woman with Alzheimer's picked up again this morning in Johnston County. This woman right here, this is 77-year-old Linda Arrington. She was last seen a week ago today. And the Johnston County Sheriff's Office says she was seen on surveillance footage at the Murphy gas station in Smithfield. Deputies say they've searched Wake, they've searched Johnston, they've searched Harnett County since last week, but the search was suspended overnight and continued today. Her family says she's beloved in the community and they are hoping to get her home as soon as possible.
She is an incredibly kind, outgoing person, very generous, active in the various churches in different areas that she's lived in. She's taught Sunday school. She's made a positive impact on a lot of people's lives.
Deputies say she's 5'3" with gray hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a light-colored hat, gray sweatpants, a black undershirt, and dark tennis shoes. Deputies are asking anyone with information to come forward.
The Council of Economic Advisors estimates the shutdown costs the U.S. economy about $15 billion a week and causing 60,000 non-federal employees to lose their jobs. States are also scrambling to get SNAP food benefits out to the 42 million Americans who rely on them. The Agriculture Secretary says most will receive it by Monday at the very latest. The Trump administration is racing to give out back pay for some federal agencies as early as tomorrow. Others are expected to receive theirs by early next week. While the shutdown may be over, frustration at the nation's airports is not. Airlines are slashing 6% of flights ahead of the Thanksgiving rush, a reduction that was put into place because of staffing shortages. But those paychecks flowing again could mean more workers reporting for duty.
And back here in the WRAL Live Center following some breaking news out of Paris, a man wielding a knife at a train station there was shot and wounded by police. Officials say the man that was shot is known for domestic violence. They also say a 53-year-old bystander was hit in the foot by a gunshot and treated at the scene. They added the man inflicted a knife wound on himself. Authorities stressed that initial communications made no mention of terrorism as being suspected as a motive. Again, we'll stay on top of this one for you in the Live Center as well.
We know you will, Michelle. Thank you. Let's look at stocks this afternoon. After the federal government shutdown, we were watching to see what investors would be doing. You can see right here the Dow Jones is down 143 points. What you don't see here is the S&P 500 up 26 points and the NASDAQ up 157. Tech stocks still taking quite the beating today.
Nearly $1 billion is on the line in tonight's Mega Million drawing. The estimated jackpot stands at $967 million with an estimated cash payout of $445 million. In case you're wondering, the odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 298.5 million. You can watch the drawing tonight here on WRAL right before our 11 p.m. newscast.
Next at noon, city bus hijacked. The man now under arrest. And what was odd about what he reportedly did while driving?
Also, Harlem River heroes. We'll introduce you to the NYPD officers who saved a teenager from very cold water.
Plus, more deadly drone strikes. A look at the aftermath in Ukraine after Russia's latest attacks from above.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000, sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
Such a pretty afternoon. Take a look at this live view from White Lake. Not a cloud in the sky. Lots of blue skies all across the viewing area right now. You're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device.
The Trump administration is challenging California's effort to redraw the state's congressional maps. Last week, California voters approved the Prop 50 ballot measure. That allows state Democratic lawmakers to replace congressional lines drawn by the state's independent commission with new ones. Well, California is pushing back against a nationwide Republican effort to boost the GOP's chances of holding onto a House majority. Attorneys for a former county clerk from Colorado are seeking her immediate release from prison. Tita Peters is serving a 9-year sentence for a data breach scheme during the 2020 presidential election. Her attorneys say Peters is in poor health and cannot sleep well on prison mattresses. She was convicted of allowing a man to misuse a security card and access the Mesa County election system. Well, Peters says that she wanted to prove President Donald Trump's claims of voter fraud.
A Canadian man faces numerous charges for stealing a city bus and taking passengers on a ride they will not soon forget. It all began when the official driver pulled into a terminal for a break. Officers say that's when the suspect got on a bus and drove off. Nearly a dozen passengers initially thought he was a real bus driver because he still made stops. In fact, he even denied one passenger who had an expired bus pass.
He didn't follow the scheduled route, but he was making the scheduled stops. Well, there was not a ding on the bus.
Police safely stopped the unscheduled ride after 15 minutes and took the man into custody. No one on the bus was injured.
And right now in the WRAL Live Center, health officials in Washington state say they have identified the nation's first case of human bird flu. A resident there in Washington state tested positive for the infection. Health officials say that they're still investigating the source of the infection. The patient is an older adult with underlying health conditions. They say they were hospitalized in early November and their treatment is ongoing. There have been 26 confirmed human infections of bird flu so far this year. The CDC, though, they say they still categorize the risk to the general public as low.
3 New York City police officers are being praised after rescuing a 16-year-old from the Harlem River. NBC's Melissa Colorado spoke with the officers about that rescue captured on body camera.
On a brisk afternoon in November, these 3 NYPD officers got the call that a 16-year-old girl was threatening to jump into the Harlem River. They pulled over on the busy Harlem River Drive near 145th Street, where they spotted her dangerously close to the edge.
As soon as we jumped over the fence, she threw herself into the water, and without hesitation, I just told myself I'm going in to go get her.
Body camera video shows the tense moments when Officer Wilmer Guerrero approaches the distressed teen. Her face is blurred to protect her identity.
Can you swim? Can you swim?
He takes off his bulletproof vest and his gun belt before diving into the murky waters.
Just so focused on getting her out, I didn't care how cold it was.
Now, the temperature that November day was 32 degrees for Officer Guerrero. His first water rescue was essentially a cold plunge.
Frigid, like instant cold. I felt my toes were shivering in my boots.
Scared that the river's current would sweep her away, Officer Guerrero secured the girl and pushed her towards the shore. where other officers were waiting.
Help up, help up. And I just reached out my hand and helped grab them both. It was very cold and it was definitely wet. So, I tried my best to just, reach out my hand, grab her, and just help pull her to safety.
Back on land, Officer Guerrero heard the teenage girl say the following.
I do remember her saying that she doesn't want to be here, that she doesn't want to go back.
The 16-year-old was taken to a nearby hospital to get help.
We basically gave a young teenage girl a second chance to live her life, and hopefully she moves on from this situation.
That's what we signed for, to help the people, to help the city.
Good on those officers, and hopefully that young woman is okay. That was Melissa, Colorado, reporting. Each of the officers have less than 4 years on the job, and it was their first water rescue and a benchmark of their promising careers.
Here with Elizabeth in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And last weekend when we had the 70s, I was thinking, oh, that was nice. We'll probably say goodbye to those. But now it's coming back again this weekend. What a November.
Honestly, I felt the same. I mean, it's pushing it to, be in the 70s this time of year. Right. But lots of sunshine will help our temperatures to warm up, along with our flow coming out of the south now. That's helping to warm things up nicely, climbing back into the 70s over the weekend, mid-70s on Saturday, upper 70s on Sunday. But a front comes through late Sunday. It'll bring some clouds Sunday, but no rain. It does bring us cooler temperatures, but really just going to bring it down about 10 degrees from mid to upper 70s to mid to upper 60s, which should still feel very comfortable for next week. We take a look here outside, and you can see nothing but blue skies. We take a look over toward Garner from our camera here in Wake County. 62 is our temperature. Wind southwest at 3. It's not a very strong wind, but it is enough to continue to warm things up. Highs this afternoon in the upper 60s. Right now it's 59 in Apex, but 61 in Holly Springs, 59 in Garner and Knightdale, 62 in Morrisville, 61 currently in Durham. Temperatures are not too far off of yesterday, about 5 degrees cooler in Fayetteville and Clinton, but the rest of the region seeing similar temperatures to yesterday, and we made it into the mid-60s for highs yesterday. Around town this afternoon, again, 67 Raleigh and Durham, 69 in Fayetteville. Our next weather maker, of course, this high-pressure system rotating clockwise, bringing that warmth up from the south, and that's going to stick around all weekend long. So 75 Saturday, 77 Sunday, and then temperatures are a bit cooler Monday and Tuesday, but still very comfortable with a good bit of sunshine. Exception is Tuesday. We'll see increasing clouds on Tuesday as our next system comes through. That's going to bring us a chance of some rain, mainly overnight Tuesday. We're going to walk through that in more detail coming up in just a little while. It was a cold start this morning, but other than that, our overnight lows are likely to be in the 40s. We don't have any freezing temperatures in the 7-day forecast. So how about our November normals? We usually average 8 days in the 70s in November. That's, kind of a lot. So we've already had a few of those. We're averaging, in terms of 75 plus, we average 3. We average less than 1 day in the 80s, however. So it's not that unusual for us to see highs in the 80s this time, in the 70s this time of year. It just feels so nice. I was feeling a bit guilty about it. Our temperatures for Football Friday, feeling great. Temperatures at game time in the low 60s and dropping into the low 50s by the end of the game. And then outdoor plans for the weekend, absolutely perfect, sunny and dry. On Saturday, warm and wonderful. On Sunday, maybe a little cloudy, but again, we're not likely to see any rain. Next best chance of rain comes in late on Tuesday, and then off the chart over here into next weekend, potentially starting on Friday. We could have some rain. We'll check that out in more detail coming up. We're also excited on Thursday about the first day of Festival of Lights. That'll be over at the Durham Bulls Ballpark, and it'll be a fun event for families. Starts Thursday and lasts all the way into January.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Coming up on WRAL News at 4 p.m. Cables cut, service out. Thieves stole about 100 feet of fiber optic cable in Johnson County. The motive investigators think was behind the vandalism and why it likely did not pay off.
And tonight at 5, small act, huge impact. How a couple of food bins in Raleigh grew into a lifeline for struggling families. A shift in stability. Foreclosures are on the rise in 2025 for the first time in nearly a decade. We'll take a look at the numbers up next.
New look, same taste. Some popular snacks are getting naked to meet consumer demand when the new option hits store shelves.
Just a heads up to you Toyota drivers, it's recalling nearly 127,000 Toyota and Lexus vehicles over a potential engine failure issue. The company says debris from the manufacturing process could contaminate the engine, and that could cause a failure of the main bearings. That in turn could also cause the engine to stall or a loss of drive power, increasing the risk of a crash. And so Toyota says it is working on a fix. And once that's ready, the company will notify customers and perform free repairs. Foreclosure filings climbed in October after sitting at historic lows in recent years. In October, there were nearly 37,000 properties with some type of foreclosure filing, such as default notices, scheduled auctions, or even repossessions. Foreclosure starts, which are the initial phase of the process, were 20% higher than the year before. Completed foreclosures, the final phase, jumped 32% year over year.
The holiday shopping season is upon us. Despite economic fears, the National Retail Federation expects shopping to surpass the $1 trillion mark. Eben Brown explains how shoppers are leaning into AI this year.
To start earlier every year, the busy holiday shopping season is kicking off, and we're already seeing a big shift in retail behavior thanks to artificial intelligence. The professional services company Accenture says its annual survey shows 8 in 10 consumers plan to use AI tools for holiday shopping, and retailers are taking note.
It's able to draw across, the huge range of information out there and explain things to shoppers in very simple and understandable terms. And I think that human nature of AI as a tool is the thing that's driving that huge step up in usage.
But with all that new technology comes new frustration. Shopper stress is intensifying this year, with some 85% of customers saying they're feeling overwhelmed with too many choices. But experts say the new AI tools can actually help streamline those options.
It's helping them with resolving this question around having overwhelming decisions, raising their level of confidence they're actually choosing the right things.
And of course, what happens online is having a big impact on brick and mortar stores. A growing number of frontline workers are reporting burnout and fatigue, mostly because of angry or impatient customers. And with more consumers doing their shopping online, retailers are concerned about worker retention.
Bear a thought for frontline retail workers this year.
For the most part, shoppers aren't planning on slowing down this holiday season. Nearly 9 out of 10 plan to spend at least what they spent last year on holiday shopping.
Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny dominated the Latin Grammys in Las Vegas, walking away with 5 statues. The ceremony took place at the MGM Grand. Bad Bunny won Album of the Year, and he also picked up trophies for Best Urban and Urban Fusion Performance, Best Reggaeton Performance, Best Urban Music Album, and Best Urban Song. His sweep comes just months before he's taking center stage at the Super Bowl halftime show. Ukraine under attack again. Just ahead, what the latest round of Russian drone strikes is doing to the capital city of Kyiv.
Plus, not your average vending machine. The health resources this box provides for free.
And we do have your winning NC Education lottery numbers right here on your screen.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Russia unleashed a major missile and drone barrage on Kyiv today, killing at least 6 people and injuring dozens more. Russia has waged a devastating aerial campaign against Ukraine since its all-out invasion of its neighbor nearly 4 years ago. As NBC's Ralph Sanchez reports, U.S.-led diplomatic efforts this year to end that fighting have not worked.
This was a massive attack on the Ukrainian capital overnight, and following a pattern that has now become grimly familiar. Authorities in Kyiv saying Russia launched some 400 drones, the idea being to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses and then follow that wave of drones with a barrage of missiles. And it seems that it was those missiles that caused a lot of the major damage here. And authorities are saying that they have lost power and water in some areas of Kyiv, and that there may may be survivors under the rubble. Now, the Ukrainians are saying that they hit back with long-range cruise missiles. They're called Long Neptunes. They're made in Ukraine. That's interesting because the Ukrainians have been desperate for American-made Tomahawk cruise missiles. That's something that President Trump floated giving them and then decided not to in the end. The Ukrainians are saying they are having some success with these domestically made missiles. The reality, though, is Ukraine is still massively outgunned, especially when it comes to drone production. And this violence just underscoring that at this point, it really does not seem that President Trump's efforts to negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine are going anywhere. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, London.
A Trump administration official who withdrew his nomination after racist text messages came to light now has a new role. Paul Ingrassia is now the Deputy General Counsel at the General Services Administration. The GSA is responsible for building, managing, and preserving federal buildings. And one of the messages he allegedly sent remarked, and I quote, he said, "I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time, I will admit." Ingrassia withdrew his nomination the day after the message became public. Statistics show that travel to the U.S. from Canada plummeted for the 10th consecutive month. This comes as tensions over the Trump administration's tariffs and rhetoric toward the country has spurred calls for Canadians to spend their money at home. Historically, Canadians have accounted for roughly a quarter of foreign visitors to the U.S.
This morning, members of the Charlotte community spoke out against Border Patrol's plan to deploy agents in the Queen City. And that move comes as part of President Donald Trump's effort to crack down on illegal immigration across the nation. State lawmakers and city representatives who spoke this morning said the deployment in Charlotte, it's not necessary. They accused immigration enforcement agents of being undisciplined and overly aggressive.
When federal agents enter our communities without warning, without cause, and without humanity, they are not keeping us safe. They are terrorizing our neighborhoods.
That was J.D. Mazuera Arias, an immigrant who was just elected to the Charlotte City Council. WRAL emailed questions to U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency about the critics' claims, as well as the agency's plans for Charlotte. The agency didn't answer all of our questions, but did send a statement from Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. It says, quote, "Every day, DHS enforces the laws of the nation across the country. We do not discuss future or potential operations."
Running to honor heroes. Today, a Raleigh man started his running journey to Charlotte to draw attention to the bravery and strength of firefighters. Here's a look at where Jalen Snipes is running right now. He's made it through Apex. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar has more on his run and the mission behind it.
The energy out here was incredible when we saw Jalen Snipes alongside a Raleigh fire truck start heading west 150 miles to Charlotte, all in support of North Carolina firefighters. A spirited send-off for a long feat. Jalen Snipes is running to show gratitude.
I'm forever indebted. We are forever indebted. I thank you guys for everything you guys do.
And to raise money for North Carolina Firefighters Fund.
And this run is not only going to live with me, but it's going to live with you guys as well.
It's personal to him. He says when he was young, his house caught on fire, and Greensboro fire crews were there to protect him and his family.
You guys have saved not only my home, but many others around me and across the state and the nation.
Now he's giving back.
You know, it's just a lot of nerves, but at the same time, these guys are nervous to fight fire. Guess what they do, Ali? They do it anyways. So that's what we're here for. I'm going to put my feet on pavement, and we're going to rock and roll. That's what we do.
And you can even track Snipes throughout his whole journey all the way to Charlotte. We're going to have those links for you on WRAL.com. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
His motivation is inspiring. WRAL Investigates, by the way, has reported for years on the risks firefighters face from cancer on the job. And that includes from cancer-causing forever chemicals found in their own suits and on the steps lawmakers have taken to increase support for firefighters facing job-related cancers. You can read more about it on WRAL.com.
The Carolina Country Club in Raleigh played host last night to the Footprints on the Court Unified Doubles event. And this round-robin event is part of a weekend of festivities raising money and awareness for Abilities Tennis of North Carolina. More than a dozen Abilities Tennis athletes got a chance to showcase their skills there. And Ken Smith participated in that event and says his doubles partner, Jennifer, carried their team. The Footprints on the Court Gala happens tonight at the Carolina Country Club.
I'm sure they were a great team. A new resource is now open for military families, veterans, and active duty students at UNC Chapel Hill. The school hosted a grand opening of the Military and Veterans Student Success Center. That's located at the Student and Academic Services Building. The school says a new center will help military families who are adjusting to the area after moving here.
All right, a snack of a different color. Just ahead, why Cheetos and Doritos will have a bit paler of a shade.
Also ahead, a posthumous honor for acclaimed actor Chadwick Boseman, when the late actor's star will shine on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Don't forget, download the new WRAL weather app and plan ahead for severe weather anytime. But make sure you turn on alerts to get notified about severe weather in your location. It's free wherever you download your apps. So there's a special vending machine in Iowa, and it's growing in popularity, but you won't find snacks or soft drinks in it. Instead, it carries items to support residents' health. Items like naloxone, contraception, gun locks, and more line the shelves there on it. The program launched in April, and over the last 6 months, the Plan B contraceptive pill has been the most vended item.
We think the number of Plan Bs being taken from the machine is so high just because of the real need for that resource here in Iowa. Access to reproductive health care has gotten harder in some areas and in some ways.
Are available free of charge, in fact, 24/7. The Family Planning Council of Iowa supplies the machines using funds from a grant.
Get ready for a new version of Cheetos and Doritos. The popular snacks will taste the same, but get this, they will not have artificial flavors or dyes. As a result, they'll have a natural pale yellow color instead of that bright orange we're used to. The company says Simply Naked snacks, as they'll be called, will be available in Doritos Nacho Cheese and the Cool Ranch flavors, and Cheetos Puffs and Flamin' Hot flavors. They will hit store shelves next month. I don't care how they look, as long as they taste like Cheetos, I will eat the Cheetos. After a 13-year partnership, Under Armour and NBA superstar Steph Curry have parted ways. Curry and the company announced they mutually agreed to end their partnership effective immediately. As part of the split, Curry will maintain sole ownership of Curry brand, which makes shoes and apparel. Under Armour will release the Curry 13, its final Curry brand shoe, in February. The four-time NBA champion, as you know, played for Davidson College near Charlotte.
All right, we're going to talk about seal safety.
He is on our boat. You're good. Just stay, buddy.
How a day on the ocean turned into a rescue mission for a group of photographers.
Popular pet names. Gone are the dog names of old. Still ahead, the new top names for sweet pups.
Oh, a list of fun fall weekend events in our area.
It's time to take a look at WRAL's Out and About Best Bets. So happening tomorrow, the final Harvest Fest event for the year in Cary. It will include a huge list of local vendors, food trucks, activities for the kids. This festival will be at Good Hope Farm over on Morrisville Carpenter Road, and it will run from noon until 4.
And Renee, the town of Morrisville, is also hosting its Harvest Festival today. The festival will include chili, warm drinks, and games. Tickets cost $12 for residents and $15 for non-residents. That'll be at the Morrisville Senior Center on Davis Drive from 1 to 4 p.m. And the second of the weekend of Moonlight in the Garden, it gets underway tonight at the J.C. Ralston Arboretum. It's a chance for people to stroll through the garden with live music, food, and even a chance to roast marshmallows on a fire pit. Tickets are available on the Arboretum website. Moonlight in the Garden runs through November 22nd. Keep that in mind. And for more weekend best bets, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
It's going to be a busy football weekend as well. The Carolina Panthers are looking to get back in the win column this Sunday. The team will head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m., and you can watch that on Fox 50. And Sunday Night Football on NBC. The Detroit Lions will be headed to Philly to take on the Eagles. Kickoff is scheduled for 8:15. You can watch that game on WRAL. Triangle College football fans will get their fill as well. Duke is at home tomorrow for a conference matchup. It is Blue Devils versus the Virginia Cavaliers at Wallace Wade Stadium. Kickoff is at 3:30 p.m. UNC will be on the road, but won't be going very far. The Tar Heels will be taking on Wake Forest in Winston-Salem. UNC is looking for its third straight win. Kickoff is at 4:30 p.m. And NC State is headed to Florida. The Wolfpack will face the 15th ranked Miami Hurricanes. Kickoff is set for 3:30.
Actor Chadwick Boseman will be honored next week with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Boseman died in 2020 of colon cancer. He was 43 years old. Black Panther director Ryan Coogler and former co-star Viola Davis will speak at that event. Boseman's wife will accept the honor. Boseman was well known for portraying Black American figures on screen, including baseball player Jackie Robinson and music legend James Brown. Cardi B and boyfriend Stephon Diggs are now the proud parents of a healthy baby boy. It's her first with the New England Patriots wideout. And looks like she has 3 other children with her ex-husband, rapper Offset. Cardi B stepped out last night for the release of her second studio album entitled Am I the Drama? In her latest Instagram post, Cardi writes, "Starting over is never easy, but it's been so worth it." All right, swinging over to your weather forecast. We talked about a lot what people could do and out and about, Elizabeth. I'll tell you what, the party's kind of already starting outside in terms of the weather. It's not too bad out.
It's lovely out there. So much sunshine. And, you know, in the wintertime, we can have these beautiful sunny days and it's chilly, but it is not chilly out there, even though it started cold this morning. Right now, as you're stepping out the door, temperatures are mostly in the low to mid 60s. 64 in Clinton, 61 in Rocky Mount and Wilson, 63 in Roxborough. But it was a cold start this morning. Our wind was coming out of the north. And look at these temperatures in the 20s that we started with. Sanford at 27, 29 in Durham and Goldsboro, 27 in Siler City, officially 32 at RDU. So we've warmed things up nicely. If you're planning to tailgate at the Canes game, it's going to be lovely for that. At 6 o'clock, temperatures will still be in the upper 50s to around 60. But then as you're headed out of the game during the evening, temperatures maybe upper 40s to right on 50 degrees. We'll see clear skies, though, overnight tonight. It'll be warmer over the weekend, 75 Saturday, but more cloud cover on Sunday. Sunday may be mostly cloudy, but still, I wouldn't expect any rain. And I do expect, even without a lot of sunshine, they will reach around 77 and then 67 for this afternoon. We're talking about the Virginia game at Duke. And of course, they all take the field at 3:30 Saturday. Temperatures look great. We'll see temperatures in the mid 70s at the start of the game. And by the time the game wraps up, temperatures will be back down into the mid 60s. Maybe even upper 50s in a few spots. Let's talk rain chances. It's dry all the way through the weekend. Our next best chance of rain comes with a front on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Most of the rain looks like it would be Tuesday night, but just to cover the bases, we added that just small chance on Tuesday. Probably add just a small chance onto Wednesday morning, but most of that would be overnight on Tuesday. And then we have a stronger front that will come in late next week. The big question is it going to be Friday? Is it going to be Saturday? Is it going to be Sunday? I've been watching this one already for several days, and this morning it started to slow down a little bit, so it looks like maybe Friday, but still, Saturday's a possibility. And it does look like it'll bring the potential for some significant rain. Checking out the 7-day forecast, again, looking lovely for today. We're a little cooler behind Sunday's front, and late Tuesday into early Wednesday, we have that potential for rain. Right now, Thursday looks nice and dry for the Festival of Lights. That will be out at the DBAP, and so much fun. Santa Claus will be out there. You can make s'mores. There's a giant slide, and of course, lots of lights. That kicks off, as I mentioned, on Thursday and lasts all the way into January. So hopefully you'll get a chance to get out and enjoy that.
Hopefully.
Seeking refuge, a seal narrowly escapes the jaws of killer whales. Why? It will live to swim another day, thanks to some photographers.
Well, hey, as we wrap things up, here's a few of the headlines that we're following today. Tuition is going up for students at NC State University. The Board of Trustees unanimously approved the 3% increase. It applies to both incoming in-state and out-of-state students. That would amount to about a $200 increase for new in-state students. It would go into effect at the start of the 2026-27 year.
Today, the man charged in the death of an 11-year-old dancer who was hit by a truck in the 2022 Raleigh Christmas Parade will be in court. Landon Glass is charged with involuntary manslaughter in connection to Haley Brooks' death. Just 2 months ago, his defense attorney offered a plea agreement. Glass has been at his home in Virginia on house arrest since March of 2023 after he posted bond.
Undergraduate classes are canceled today on the campus of Methodist University, and that's because of the deaths of a faculty member and a student this week. The university says Neil Perry died in a crash Thursday morning, and Perry was a part-time faculty member in communication and media. His death happened immediately after the death of a 19-year-old student, Peter Armstrong. The university says faculty and staff will be on campus to support anyone who needs it.
A seal narrowly escapes a group of killer whales, all thanks to a group of amateur photographers. This happened off the coast of Washington state. Video shows a group of orcas seemingly hunting a harbor seal in the Puget Sound. Some amateur photographers who usually take to the sea to capture photos of whales witnessed the seal fleeing from the hunters. And after about 45 minutes, the seal noticed the boat and made a beeline and jumped onto the vessel.
I'm definitely team orca all day, every day. But once that seal was on the boat, I kind of turned team seal just because, I mean, you have to when it's on your boat.
The whales gave up the chase after about 15 to 20 minutes. The seal stayed on the boat with the photographers until the boat made it back to shore. A safe haven there.
Where's David Attenborough? We needed to narrate all that. The seal escapes narrowly the orca whale in the water. Well, Duke, Spot, and Fido once reigned supreme as classic names for dogs. Well, not anymore. According to the American Kennel Club, Max has reclaimed the top spot for most popular male name. Hank, Teddy, Cooper, and Gus round out the top 5. Luna was actually the most popular female name, followed by Bella, Daisy, Lucy, and Ruby. Cha-Cha is not on that list for some reason. Maybe I didn't ask her. The American Kennel Club says the ranking was based on registration statistics and enrollments in the AKC Canine Partners program.
Interesting, all people names for the pets. Well, the name of our pet of the day did not appear on that list, but it is guaranteed to make you laugh. Meet Garlic Roll. Garlic Roll. He's 7 months old and will soon be neutered. Garlic Roll weighs 47 pounds and could reach 70 to 85 pounds when he's full grown. Garlic Roll is the definition of food motivated, which makes him super trainable. He is very sweet, good with people and good with other dogs too. His $120 adoption fee includes his neuter, microchip, vaccines, and other wellness care. Contact the SPCA of Wake County if you need a Garlic Roll in your life.
So regular names are funny for pets, like Paul, for like a cat or something, but I don't know, it's pretty cute there. Coming up on WRAL News at 4 p.m., the man accused of hitting and killing a young girl in the Raleigh Christmas parade 3 years ago is expected back in court this afternoon. We'll tell you what comes out of that court appearance.
Let's get a final check of the weather with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner and how our weekend is looking.
It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It was such a chilly start this morning. Our temperatures were down into the upper 20s to around 30 in some places, but huge rebound this afternoon as we climb up to 67 and then 70s on Saturday and Sunday. That's about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. We do settle back to normal for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Notice we don't have any more freezing temperatures in our forecast, so we're just going to sort of coast with normal temperatures into next week. We do have a chance of some rain, mainly Tuesday night into early Wednesday, and it looks dry for the first day of the Festival of Lights.
So a little bit of a drop-off after that warm weekend, but not like the polar plunge we had last Monday. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL, your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And just a reminder, you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Hope you have a blessed day today.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257.